Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to today's video. I'm Chris here with LA Cafe. Let's take a look at the markets. They have been in a continuous recovery mode here for the past couple of days from the big sell-off we had on Friday. We reacted from this 50-day moving average, and we tried to kind of contain that level. At some point today, there was another attempt at the lows, especially I think in the S&P was more pronounced. But then we recovered throughout the day and managed to close somewhat positive. So I think that's a pretty good indication that there are bids at the 50-day moving average, and they're trying to hold this market and preventing it from continuing to decline. Although the VIX remains fairly high, and it's still a very volatile environment here. I think one kind of has to be cautious and tread carefully. There is still plenty of stocks in the material space, and there's like high flyers that continue to make new highs, and there's still quite a bit of abundance of let's say just kind of trading in these very high ATR, high volatile names. And, in my view, that kind of has to be a bit tempered. But, what do I know? I mean, the market, it's still, acting fine in here. It's not doing anything wrong. Although, since we cracked, I mean, if you look at the NYSE here, we cracked below these levels back here. I think, that's a sign to be cautious. But now we're having the 20-day moving average here in the S&P, and that's trying to hold the upside barrier in the market, and until we get back above it and close back above it, I think we're still we're still kind of fighting here, kind of two forces. The bulls and the bears are playing a little bit of a tag of war. You can see the bounce here from just below the 50 RSI. I mean, we haven't been below that level ever since late April, after we started to recover from that larger decline when we had the first talk of the tariff. And since then we've been pretty much in a nice steady uptrend, with the RSI sitting pretty in the positive territory, which we want to see in uptrends, and we want to be buyers of the market as it's approaching the 50 RSI together with the moving averages. Maybe it gets combined with some wave counting, and that provides good opportunities. But here the market, it's just I mean, it's just trying to recover. It's like like a boxer, right? That's been kind of hit a few times, and they're just trying to to get back to seeing properly. If you take a look at the Nasdaq, that's just, I mean, a couple of inside bars in here within this decline. The RSI sits at 50. I'm happy that this decline did not continue with a lot of strength, but maybe the market is just trying to gather that. I'm almost thinking, like, what if they want to do like a head and shoulder in here, and you have this kind of left shoulder, and you take this market back to the corner a little bit more, and then you have a well-established neckline, and then they drop it, and you do one more leg, either before you recover or you continue to decline. So I'm kind of cautious. I mean, I liked a couple of names today. I liked how Palantir was acting out, PLTR. That was looking pretty good today, as it's very, very tight, and it has this nice kind of cup with handle, very large sideways formation, and I'm like, good volume, and it looks fairly interesting up here. So although we haven't broken above 185, but I think a small testing position in here could be open with further add-ons above these levels. So that kind of looked good. The other stock that looked good, I think, is GE and GEV. Both of them just having a nice three-way setback in here with some buying coming in. I know these guys have earnings coming soon, so there's a couple of interesting plays out there, but there is just not a lot, and I don't want to touch stuff that's been kind of damaged and it sold off too much, or I don't want to touch stuff that's already kind of too high. So I'm looking for stocks. They're still in a nice consolidation and they're about ready to break out, but I just don't know if the market has enough power to to sustain these larger breakouts in the market. And it's still kind of jittery about this kind of trade talks. Anytime Trump can come up or China and hit the tape with some news, and then all of a sudden all those gains are getting lost. So it's a little bit of a these environments where you have a little bit of higher volatility, they're always tricky because you can also get whipped, right? You try to buy, you test it out, and then you get stopped out, or you see that the market, the thing kind of turns back. I mean, look at one of my favorite ones. It's ARM, which I have a position in, and it's been acting really well, and it has a very nice kind of formation in here, and it broke above the key levels. Right here, and I mean, look at the volatility, right? It broke first time, it came back, it broke the second time, it made a new high, it came back. So it's, I mean, look at the increase in volume. So this is just, it's just difficult to navigate with smaller positions, right? And with a little bit of a wider stops, but it's just it doesn't look bad. I mean, I like it. And if we go, let's say, to like maybe a 1.5 year chart, you can see. I mean, this guy, and I think I put a chart on Twitter several days ago about how this is a nice ABC, and this is a wave one and a wave two, another one and another two, and I'm looking for it to go. You could probably see it better here if I just kind of maybe go to like a 3-year chart, right? I mean, it's pretty nice how it's just has a nice three-wave setback in here, and then you have a nice impulse, corrective move, and you're almost like, that's what you want to see when you're trying to get out of somewhere. I mean, we'll see, but it's things are getting a little bit tricky now. One thing that's interesting, it's IWM that actually made a new all-time high today, right? So it completely erased all the losses from Friday, and it made a new all-time high. And this kind of completely evaded that idea of a right shoulder because it made a new high. And it makes me think that this was just a flat, like I'm thinking even in Bitcoin, where you have an A, B, and then down in C, and now you're getting ready to go to new all-time highs. And same thing. I mean, look at the RSI here, just kind of with little dips and scares just below that, but with a quick recovery. These are important points. So. I'm a bit encouraged by this action in IWM. We'll see if it's going to carry through in the other indices. Gold and silver are still looking good. SOX, it's still sitting tight in here, so I'm not sure what to do with it at the moment. Just kind of wait, and then let's see what's going on in kind of the Bitcoin land, where we had a pretty good move. I think we've gotten. Let me see if I can go to like an hourly. So this was a sell-off, and we've pulled back. Basically, we had the previous drop into the 110. I mean, this is a big level right here. You can see, right, just 109, between 109 and 110, and also this here, this pullback, it's about 61.8 of this entire rally. So that combined with a zone of demand in here created a pretty nice rally from 110 back to 113, but it's still, I mean, if you look at the daily charts, and where are my dailies? Right here, right? It's still just kind of not really doing what I would like it to do, which is continue to go up, and it's still fighting here with the moving averages, which now are flat, right? The 50-day is kind of flat. I mean, it's been flat for a while, ever since kind of the trend ended back here, looking in hindsight, and we're just kind of being supported by this 200-day moving average. On the weekly time frame, it looks better. But the more we go, the better this looks as that flat formation that I was looking for. But we really need to start accelerating. And then, Ethereum seems a bit stronger off the lows, still below the moving averages. It's got a bit more work to do. And until we cross above the 50-day and above this 4,600, I'm not really that interested. XRP, and I think both XRP and Sol kind of had nice 5-wave moves, and XRP in here, it's now finding resistance at the 20-day moving average. You can see that, and then just above that you have this massive level 275. So until we get back above that one, there was nothing to do, and then you got to get back above that. So it's just been hurt, and it needs time. It needs time to recover. But when I look at Sol really quickly, like I said, I think, the fact that we broke above 205, it's important. Now if we go to like an hourly chart, you can see a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off the lows, and that tells me when I see impulsive move of the lows, while they look to be impulsive, I'm always looking to see how do we react after a nice ABC down, and see if we can find bids, because that gives me a bit of an encouragement that we are basically going back here. We are in an ABC formation, and with an impulsive move of the lows, then you look to buy back pullbacks and see if we can go. Now it is, and I think I put it here into my crypto. Where is Sol here? Oh, it is. So you can see the channel, right? It's just like pretty beautiful, and we need to correct, but that's just another way to look at it from a technical perspective, right? ABCs are kind of nicely contained in a channel. Then when you get a larger third wave, that breaks down to the bottom of the channel, and this is how you go from a simple correction to a more complex correction, because as you get an X, and then you get another ABC, so on and so forth. So this is, again, normal behavior. We got to get back above the moving averages, and the fact that we've had this 5-wave move of the low, I think that's encouraging, but we need to see a little bit more. So it's just kind of testing. And I said yesterday, I mean, be careful, right? Because even though you've gotten some signals in here through these couple of days of buying, the market could always kind of come back and sell off deeper before it recovers, just to kind of put a trader's patience test. That's why we've gotten also a big sell-off in here, and it reacted basically from this kind of 20-day moving average. So overall, let me go back to the market here and take a look. So I guess I'm encouraged by what I see. Double test of this 50-day, close towards the high of the candle. That's a positive sign. We'll see how we go from here. But if IWM is any indication, we should continue to move in here and just kind of follow along, unless that was just a quick move higher and we're reversing. I'm not sure. So I'm being kind of careful. I told you kind of what I'm testing in, but I got my finger on the trigger in case we're taking down these lows. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.